The fluorescent lights hummed, the waxed floor gleamed, and the cereal boxes had to face forward, perfectly. Night shift at a Midwestern supermarket is not a place where NFL fairy tales are supposed to begin. Yet that's where Kurt Warner kept his hands busy and his mind sharp, stocking shelves after midnight and telling himself the same thing he'd later tell Huddles in January. Stay ready. The moment will come. He wasn't a can't-miss prospect. He was the guy the league had already missed. At Northern Iowa, Warner had been a late bloomer. Benchwarmer turned starter only as a senior. He went undrafted in 1994, got a cup of coffee with Green Bay, and a quick goodbye. Most quarterbacks exit there. The league's doors close softly, then permanently. Warner refused to file his dream under household items. He worked nights at the grocery store, slept when he could, and chased a new path most NFL hopefuls never consider: indoor football with the Iowa Barnstormers. The field was shorter, the windows tighter, the margin for hesitation microscopic. To some it was a dead end. To Warner it was a laboratory. Arena ball taught him survival skills that would one day look like genius on a bigger stage: a faster trigger, a braver eye, and the habit of throwing to a spot rather than a stationary target. Receivers were in motion every snap. Coverage arrived like a punchline. If you were late, you were intercepted. If you were on time, you were unstoppable. Warner learned to be on time. Then he hopped to NFL Europe with the Amsterdam Admirals, where the air was different, the language was different, and the game slowed down just enough for him to see the edges of opportunity again. His stat line started to look like statistics you'd notice. But notice is not the same as believe. The belief came from a franchise about to change the vocabulary of offense, the St. Louis Rams. They signed Warner in 1998 as depth, a body for the quarterback room, a story no one would headline. In the spring of 1999, the Rams added Marshall Faulk, a back who could split out as a receiver and break a game in 6 different ways, and drafted Torrey Holt to join Isaac Bruce. Mike Martz took over the offense and drew plays like a man trying to invent speed. The plan needed a conductor. The conductor was supposed to be Trent Green, efficient, tough, ready. Then a preseason hit shredded his knee. The room went quiet. The season, it seemed, was over before it began. Next man up is a slogan until someone like Warner makes it a biography. He walked into the huddle with the calm of a person who had stocked shelves at 2 a.m. and diagrammed option routes in his head. Week 1, he threw 3 touchdowns. Week 2, 3 more. By mid-season, the country had a name for it: the greatest show on turf. In the dome, routes bloomed like fireworks, and Warner's release looked like an act of mercy: quick, decisive, exquisitely timed. He wasn't improvising chaos. He was running a symphony. Read 1, Bruce on a deep dig. Read 2, Holt on the comeback. Read 3, Faulk detached on the choice route that always seemed to be right. He trusted windows most quarterbacks treat as rumors. It wasn't just the highlight throws, it was the processing. Arena had taught him to throw where the space would exist, not where it currently was. NFL Europe had slowed the clock. The Rams' weapons rewarded his courage. He'd no-look the safety with a shoulder dip, then fire a seam to Holt. He'd hit the back foot on a 5-step drop and let go before Bruce cleared the linebacker. He played like a man who believed timing could beat speed and spacing could beat force. That belief became contagious. The 1999 Rams didn't merely win, they altered what winning felt like. Warner posted gaudy numbers and, more importantly, delivered them in moments that defined faith. Red zone, 3rd down, 2 minutes left. By the time they reached Super Bowl, Fif against the Titans, the story had already turned mythic. Undrafted, unwanted, unstoppable. In a tight 4th quarter, he uncorked a 73-yard rainbow to Isaac Bruce. Drop, plant, launch, ball, spinning into history as if the universe owed him a perfect spiral. The Titans threatened at the end, Kevin Dyson stretching for the goal line, Mike Jones making a tackle that lives forever 1 yard short. Warner stood with the Lombardi Trophy and the MVP, his voice and hands steady. The groceries, the drumbeat of indoor arenas, the one-way ticket to Amsterdam, every mile had meaning. Here's the under-discussed part. That night didn't happen because of fate. It happened because of accumulation, the boring, faithful habit of reproducing the right read and the right throw under different pressures until the brain stops flinching. Warner's genius is not arm arrogance, it is pattern honesty. He sees the picture, trusts it, and throws on time with the humility to take what the defense gives until the defense gives up something bigger. That humility is why his teammates loved him. They knew he'd feed the hot hand, hit the check down on 2nd and 10 if it turned 3rd and 2, and call the same concept again if the leverage stayed soft. The peak wasn't a fluke. In 2001, he won another MVP. The Rams returned to the Super Bowl, and though they lost to a dynasty just beginning, Warner's stature kept growing, a latecomer who outplayed prodigies. When the arc dipped, injuries, turnovers, a reset in New York, he absorbed it without melodrama. Then came Arizona, another supposed bridge job. He bridged the franchise all the way to a Super Bowl, resurrecting a team and a receiver named Larry Fitzgerald into pure poetry. Even in defeat, Warner authored sequences you show young quarterbacks. The back-shoulder timing, the hole shot against too deep, the seam thrown before the safety could blink. People love to talk about arm strength. Warner talked about sequence, base, eyes, feet, ball, repeat. Watch old cut-ups, and you'll see it. The base is clean, the hitch is subtle, the head manipulates coverage without lying to the throw, and the ball leaves with purpose. His play-action fakes weren't theater. They were leverage. His protection checks weren't conservative. They were invitations for the offense to stay on schedule. The system QB label clanged off because every system he touched, Arena, Europe, Martz's track meet, Ken Weisenhunt's blend, worked better when he touched it. There is also a quieter part of the story, about walls and tables and voices. Warner and Brenda built a home that could withstand the swings. Undrafted to MVP, cut to comeback, old to ageless. His faith wasn't a brand, it was ballast. He held interviews like he held huddles, steady, generous with credit, the last to make it about himself. And while awards glitter, the most instructive thing he gave football is reproducible. Be the same person on Thursday in the film room that you are on Sunday in the red zone. Why does this journey still resonate? Because most of us are closer to the grocery aisle than the parade. We know what it is to be overlooked, to pick up the late shift, to wonder whether preparation is faith or denial. Warner's answer is the most practical sermon sports can offer. Preparation is proof. You don't control the call, you control whether you're fluent when it finally comes. He treated every rep, indoor, overseas, preseason, as a line in a language he refused to stop learning. When destiny spoke, he understood it. The league loves outliers but trusts constants. Warner became both. The outlier, undrafted stock boy to Super Bowl MVP. The constant, a quarterback whose timing, eyes and humility turned extraordinary teammates into an inevitable offense. His career reads like a Coach S clinic, scribbled on a Hall of Fame plaque. Accuracy is empathy, anticipation is courage, leadership is clarity. If you need a single sentence to carry from the grocery aisles to the end zone, take this. Greatness is not a moment, it's the habit of meeting moments ready. So yes, call it a fairy tale. But remember what fairy tales teach. The woods are dark, the road is long, and the hero is the one who keeps walking. In St. Louis, under a dome made for speed, a man who learned to live on time arrived exactly when football needed him most. And the boxes, once faced and perfect, finally gave way to trophies polished just the same.